How's it going, Matinecock? This is Jim Maltese, one of your Assistant Roundtable Commissioners. There's been a lot of talk recently about moving a lot of our meetings, our den meetings, our unit meetings, to the virtual space. And so today I'm just going to put a quick video together to introduce the Zoom platform to you in case you haven't seen it before. So without further ado, let's get it going. So for those of you new to Zoom, it is meant to take the place of in-person meetings as effectively as possible. And so each meeting has its own meeting ID, and that's how Zoom handles it. And so when you invite people to a Zoom meeting, they get a meeting ID or a link, and that's how they join your Zoom meeting space or your Zoom meeting room. You will need to download the app, but that's pretty common for most of these applications. And this is going to be your starting screen. So you see we have the new meeting button. That's just if you want to walk into your space. You see I have my personal meeting ID right there, so if I wanted to start a meeting just quickly, ad hoc, that would be the way to do it. If I wanted to join someone else's meeting, this is where I do it. I think the most useful thing, especially for us scouts, is going to be scheduling a meeting. So let's give that a whirl. You'll see you can call the meeting something, so let's call it Pack Night. And then today it's going to start, I think it's 2:28, so I'm going to set it to 2:30. Okay. And then we have a bunch of different options. So if I use my personal meeting ID, it'll allow me to keep a lot of the settings the same. If you are nervous about people, they call it Zoom trolling. If someone just puts in a random Zoom meeting and enters your meeting, they might do some things that are untoward of scouts, and so you can require a password, which is fine. And for the purposes here, I'm just going to go 56789, and that'll be my personal password. Okay. Host video, certainly want to turn that on because I want them to see my beautiful face. I definitely want to see their smiling faces as well. A waiting room is if you want to allow people into your meeting room. It may seem like a great option, but if you are hosting the meeting, you've got a lot of stuff going on, what might end up happening is you might have a lot of people waiting in your waiting room, and they just never get let into the meeting. And so I'll leave that up to you. Some advanced options. Enable waiting room. That means as the host, as the person who is scheduling the meeting, you have to let everyone into the meeting, which may seem like a great security option, but it may also be problematic because if you're in the middle of the meeting, you're going to be getting notifications that Jess is waiting to come in or Lucas is there, and if you forget to admit them, they're going to be stuck in that waiting room. So that might not be the best. I would encourage you to leave allow join before host turned off. What that means is people, as they join your meetings, they'll be able to join without you there. That would not meet YPT criteria, so I encourage you to leave that off. And record meeting, again, that's up to you. If you want to record it so that people who miss it, that might be nice. But on the other hand, if people don't want to be recorded, it might not be the best. So press done, and now I've got my meeting invite. I've got the link that people can use to get in. And it just has a bunch of different options that you can certainly get into. This is the meeting ID. That's the link to get into it. And then you press add, and now it is in your meeting space. So we can go to my meetings, and you'll see Pack Night, the one that I just started at 2:30. Is right there, and we're good to go. But we want to let people know about the meeting. And this is where it can be very powerful. So we are going to press send invitation. And now here we can do a couple of different things. You can send the message from Zoom, you can send an email from Zoom, or you can just copy the meeting information to your clipboard. I find this to be the most helpful because as I send pack invites out on my regular email, I have my lists all there. I don't want to have to do it from Zoom, so I'm just going to copy it to my clipboard. And then I can go to my email app, start a new message. I'm going to send it to myself right there. And this is going to be a meeting. And now this is what was copied. So you can see it just says invite to my personal meeting room. It's a Zoom meeting, and this is how you log in. So that's all there is to it. I press send, and then lo and behold, the meeting is sent out. I have this, and I can enter into the meeting. So you'll see this is my dashboard, and you do want to spend a little bit of time on this dashboard to make sure you're comfortable with it. This is where I can mute myself. This is where I can stop video in case I need to reset something or something embarrassing is going on behind me. I can share content, which is really powerful if you want to do PowerPoint, if you want to do something. Also, if you just want to do a whiteboard. So we can come in here and work on notes. We can just collaborate. So Zoom gives you all the options. It's meant to be a sharing platform. However, for Scout leaders, probably the most important menu is this participants. Why? Because we are going to have 50, 60 scouts yelling and screaming, and we want to we want to gain control somehow. And so, it used to be signs up, and that would be fantastic. But in the Zoom space, we can come over and just press mute all. And that mutes everyone except the host. So what I'm going to do over here is I am going to come into my email app. That was my test. I have another meeting here, and I am going to join this meeting from that link. I'm going to join with video. Okay. And now it gets a little confusing. So now we have participants, we have our meetings. That's just, you can play with virtual backgrounds. The other thing I should notice is we can switch to gallery view. And that's if you want to see everyone in the screen at the same time. Actually, I can just turn that off because that far end of the meeting is my virtual background from my phone. So this is the meeting. We can switch back to Active View. Active View is going to show you the full screen of the person who's talking, and Gallery View will show you everyone on the call. But the critical pieces of the Zoom setup is, this is if you want to mute yourself, this is if you want to stop your video, if you want to share content, if you have PowerPoint, if you have pictures that you wanted to show, if you want to do anything like that. But again, this participants menu will give you all the options to mute people. If you want to mute someone's video, you can do that from here as well. And so that stops their video. If you want to mute everyone, you can do that as well. So this is your audio and video control for the entire meeting. Okay? And then once you're done, you have a few options. You can end the meeting. Leave meeting means just the host leaves. End meeting means everyone leaves. And so this is my phone. I am on the far end here. And if I leave meeting, you see it still comes up, but I can come in here. And if I end the meeting for everyone, it kills the meeting for all participants. It was interesting. Just one thing. For some reason, the password protection did not stick on that first meeting invite. So let's just try that again. So I'm going to schedule a meeting for today. It's coming up to be 2:45, so let's say 2:45. Okay, and this will be den meeting. Okay. Like that. Now I want to make sure password is selected, 56789, that is there. I don't want meeting room on, I don't want people joining before the host, but we're good. But password is selected. So now what you'll notice here is the web link for the meeting is a lot more complicated. Not only does it have the meeting ID, but it has the encrypted password. That's what you want to see when you send out these links, to make sure people can't just willy-nilly enter these meetings and Zoom troll you. So you do want that more complex link, which includes the password. If people are joining from their apps or something with just the meeting ID, you can let them know the password, but you want to make sure that the links that you are sending out has that encrypted password there. So we can add it to our schedule. We go to the meetings, we have our den meeting, and now it's the same process where you copy the clipboard. I go over to my email app. I'm going to send it to myself again. Good, and this will be den meeting. Fantastic, and here is where I drop that meeting invite with the password, so we should be good to go. It also gives you the meeting ID and the password information in case they want to join it by phone. So we are there, we have our invite, and now we can pick up our phone and we can go a couple of different ways. Go back over to Zoom. I can go to my den meeting and start the meeting. Okay, and so if I wanted to join the meeting from the link, that would link up fine. If I wanted to join the meeting with just the meeting ID, so 996-638-5916. Now if you see on the phone, it's going to ask me for that password. And now we know that the meeting is protected and only people with the password can get in. So that should be enough to stop any Zoom trolls. I entered in the password and we are good to go. Okay, and again, we'll come in, mute all, because I'm in the same room. But that is how we do Zoom. I wish you all luck. I hope you have a wonderful time with it. Try it, and remember, keep it simple and keep it fun. Alright guys, I hope you found this video helpful. There are plenty of Zoom tutorials online, a lot better than I can do, but I wanted to give you the basics as they pertain to scouting. And so remember to keep those passwords on just to keep the meeting space safe, and I encourage you to practice. It does take a little bit to get used to the interface, but once you do, it becomes very fluid. I'm sure there's going to be video issues, I'm sure there's going to be audio issues, I'm sure there's going to be joining issues, but the idea is to just get out there and try. You can see, you can practice. I had my phone, I had my tablet. If I threw on my computer, we can have at least 3 participants going and have a fake Zoom meeting, or call your friends, call your family. The idea is just to get out there and practice and get that muscle memory going with the interface. But that's it. This is just one of the tools we have at our disposal during this challenging time, and I hope you have fun with it. So stay safe, stay scouting, and hopefully I'll see you on a virtual meeting. Take care.